Well, I tell you, I got sick of sitting and watching YouTube videos and decided it was time to go make one of my own. Seems like everybody else is out looking for gold. Came to a spot I've been meaning to check out. Right down there, that's the river. And even though we haven't had any real amounts of snow or rain, that feeds from way up north, and they got a lot of snow and rain, and the river's really high. This part of this creek is usually a lot lower than this, but the river being high backs it up. And then when I found a spot to walk in, because I planned on walking in from up there, I had to walk in from up there. There's this nice, you see it up there? There's a nice little waterfall, and there's a lot of gravels in here. There's, I believe that's some of the resident bedrock. There's even a spot over here where it all looks good. There's some gravels in there. Little gravel bar right here. So I think I'm gonna make me a little spot right there for the sluice and work this area right here. I do got my good boots today, so I can actually wander out into the creek, although I'm probably not gonna. It looks a little deeper than I want to work there. I got all this nice gravels right in here to look. So I'm gonna get my equipment out, start digging some holes, start panning, and see what I can find out, and see if I can find any more gold in my county. All right, we'll be back in a bit. All right, I did a little bit of digging here, there, everywhere. I've got this blue bucket here half full. I managed to get my sluice ledged in here. It's a pretty steep angle, but I don't have a lot of water to work with, so I need more help from gravity than anything. A lot of this comes from right here in the bank, and I didn't do any test pans. I thought, hey, I have a bucket of dirt through the sluice, and I'll pan that out. I don't expect there to be a whole lot here, so if I can go ahead and just sit and run this, and then pan it after that. If I don't like what I see, well, I've only got about 15 minutes wrapped up into this so far. So, easiest dam I've ever had to make, even though I don't have a whole lot of water. It's definitely washed and clean. I like the material I found. It's got quite a bit of little tiny rocks and stuff in it. I found some red clay. I found some black clay or gray clay. Even saw what could have been a little layer of black sand before the hole filled with water. So I have some high hopes on this, I guess. But anyhow, I'm going to pause you for the cause again here. Load a couple of big scoops up. Probably too much in there, but whatever. If I lose some gold, I lose some gold. I'll find it again later. I'll be back with you guys in just a bit. Okay, so that didn't take long at all. I'm going to raise you up a little bit here. We're going to go ahead and do a clean out. Oh, take this with me. Pretty straightforward. Drop her in there. I act like I know what I'm doing. Well, it's going to fall right out for me. Not a whole lot in there. Probably way more water in there than I needed. This is pan. I don't know if you guys can see me or not. Not a whole lot of material in there, but I didn't want a whole lot. I was, the concentrates from less than 10 shovels, I guess. Less than 10. Alright. Can't believe I'm going to pan on camera a little bit here. that there. Come and get you guys. Remember not to touch the volume button because the volume button shuts the video off. All right. I can get in there. We'll even take her up a notch. It is right there. You can see it there. Let's get some water on it. Oh, I swooshed it away, didn't I? Oh no, it's right down. Well, anyhow, hopefully you saw it. There was that one and a couple more just like it. And then you can see the... Oh, can I get that shine to go away? You can see the occasional silver piece like that guy right there. Come on, focus. So I'm going to snuffer that up. I was going to snuffer some of them up last time I found them and forgot and dumped them back in the creek. But I'll take them home and look at them under the microscope. Anyhow, I'm going to put you back on pause. And now that I see there's at least something worth digging, I'm going to do a little bit more prospecting and start filling buckets of dirt. Well, I took a little walk up the creek and I wanted to show you what I found. We've got good cobbles, good cobbles in there. I'll let it focus. And them tall banks. Now, I have been in this creek when the water was up all the way to the top in a pretty good sized boat. We went a long ways up the creek one time. So this will bring water from this whole valley all the way down. You can see it goes up a long ways, over there, up a long way. So it'll bring it all way right down here and then sends it off to the river. But look at what I found here. It was a lot clearer. I walked down in there. But coming out of that bank is, oh, I'm still zoomed in. Let's go ahead and, yeah, how's that? How's that? Better on your eyes? Mine. This tree comes down and then you can see there's something attached to it. And it runs all the way to right there. But look at the size of that rock. And you've got this cobble bar that I'm standing on. You can see it here. So, this, I'm hoping, is going to be a decent spot. I brought my classifiers and my pan down. I'm going to go ahead and dig out in front of that rock. It's about knee deep there. Almost looks like someone's worked this area before, but I highly doubt it. I really do. This isn't a big popular pastime in my area. So, I'm going to set you down, do some digging, do some panning. We'll be back at you. Well, I wanted to show you what I found so far. I managed to dig this out, but right in front of that rock, it's this clay that's turning back into shale. Boy, it is tough digging. You can, once you got a little hole started, you could break it up. But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's layers and layers of trapped whatever in there. But, I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and rinse this down through the classifier, and I'll save that pile of rocks. We'll take a look at it again once it's cleaned up. Alright, so before I pan this down, I just thought we'd take a look at it. You can see not a whole lot of black in there, but you can see the clay. This is the 1/8 plus or 3/16 plus, whatever that is. And then these were the bigger rocks. Like I said, there's a sandstone rock. This is going to be a shale. You know, just layers of clay that I'm sure it doesn't take much to crush that and break it down. One little quartz chunker there. So, I don't know. I mean, the potential's good because that any gold will get caught in that clay, but there's a possibility too any gold's caught in that clay. I don't have a rock crusher with me right now, so it's on my Christmas list. I'm going to pan this down. We'll be right back. Well, I don't know if you can see them, and I'm not going to try super hard to let you. But there, oh, there it showed up for a minute. There is two little specks of gold right there. Let's see, there's the rock. They're over that way. Let's see if I can... they're right in that area. Focus. I mean, they're tiny, tiny, tiny. Even a fly would be like, is that all the bigger that is? But, I think I'm going to go ahead and bring my big classifier down here and try to dig some out. That was, I mean, so there was maybe 3 or 4 shovels. I hardly filled the classifier, and the majority of it was rocks. I didn't really get into any of the ooey gooey stuff, and with the tip of my boot, I can kind of feel some gooey stuff starting. So I'm going to work it a little bit here, see if I can make a bucket of pay. Maybe figure out if I can run my sluice over there somehow, make one of them little 6 rock dams like the Flower Gold Wizard guy does. I don't know where I'm going to find 6 rocks big enough right now. Otherwise, I'll go back over to my little waterfall. That was working. It's not too far down there, just to that red bucket. So I'll be back. Well, all right. I'd say it's been about 5 minutes since I put you on pause, and in that time, I've pretty well filled this red bucket up. That's pretty close to the top. I dug most of it out from this hole here that is now definitely knee deep and then some. And then I took a little bit out from this side because you can see it makes that low pressure area and it starts dropping out. Probably why most of this bar is here, to be honest. And then in that 5 minutes, I also made one of them little wing dams that I learned watching the best gold channel on YouTube, Flower Gold Wizard. Look at that. So just didn't want to dam the whole creek up because that would have taken 10 minutes. I only had 5. But I just put a little stack in a little horseshoe shape there. It kind of gathers the water. You can't so much tell from here, but when you walk down there, you can actually see it makes a little hump. I've got great flow. I've got great drop. So we're gonna drag that over there, and I'm not looking forward to that. That probably weighs as much as I do, but we're gonna drag that over and get the fancy green scoop out and start filling her up, see what we'll get. I'll pan that all down, and I'm sure that'll be 45-55 seconds. If I did all this in 5 minutes, that'll probably be I shouldn't even shut the camera off. It's gonna be so quick, but I'll shut it off just in case. Well, I'm not gonna lie, it's been more than 5 minutes this time. That was a workout and a half. I couldn't get the sluice to work at first. It was about as slow as my miller table, and I didn't have that kind of time standing here in the creek. So I had to move all of my rocks over to where there was more flow, and then I was still having a real hard time. I ended up filling my classifier bucket up. I'll walk out there a little bit so you can see. I filled my classifier bucket up with rocks, and that's that ring you see at the end of my sluice. So that's filled up, but I tell you what, I had some pressure there. The water's just a flowing. You can see it in the beginning of my sluice there. The riffles are riffling. Everything is working exactly the way you would want a sluice to work, and I didn't have to build the dam all the way across the creek to make it happen. So I managed to get that whole red bucket ran, and I am not going to attempt to go get that sluice on camera. I am going to put you on pause, walk out there, get the sluice, pan down the concentrates, and see what we got from one bucket of dirt from all around that big rock there. Be right back. Well, I was hoping before I got too carried away with rinsing that we'd be able to look into there and see some gold up in them riffles, and I don't. But that's a speck,
That's a speck. Over there's a speck. This red bucket really makes them show up. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I see 10 of them down in there. Let's see if I can't focus in on just one. Yeah, just don't wanna. That's asking a lot for that camera. But that makes me happy. I was hoping that to be able to see some in the riffles. Let me get my little scooper here. Dump some dirty water on it with that. Somebody got the water all murked up. Well, if I was going to see any, I would hope to have seen it up in these first sets of rows, but that could be what's laying in the bottom of the bucket right now. Okay, I'm going to take it out of there, get it properly cleaned up, get it in the pan. Well, there's a few pieces in there, but they are finer than frog hair. There's that one right in the middle, right there. Tiny, tiny, tiny. I might have lost some panning it back, but I did pan it into my red bucket, so it could be in there. I thought I was seeing a lot more before I panned it, so those might have been mica, because I don't see any of them in here anymore. I don't see any of that silver stuff I found in that other spot. So yeah, I got a little bit of time left here. I'm going to probably pick another spot. I think right up there next to that bank looks really good. I'm going to do a couple of test pans, and if I like that, I'll get to sifting and I'll go back out before I tear my dam down. All right, see you in 5 minutes. All right, we're gonna, why is it zoomed so far out? There we go. Looky there, just a few rocks right in the middle. No dam all the way across. Right in the middle. It's hard to stand here. There's so much current. As you can see, it's right to there. I'm going to have to do something different about that, because I'll never get the gold out of that bucket. It's not what it did last time. One-handed. This is a treat. All right. Maybe over here it won't be so deep. I'm losing it right now. I am. All right, we use this as part of the dam. Okay, so still recording. Battery's going dead. There it is. She's pretty clumpy. Now usually I'll stir this stuff up, so because it's all clay, so it turns into a rock in the bottom of your bucket. So that's what it looks like going through my sluice. It could be moving a little bit better than that, but I'm not sure if it's just not moving good enough or if it's just because it's all that clay. Yeah, I think it's the clay. I'll be honest, all of my test pans, I haven't hardly found anything. A few specks here and there. Some more mica. Some of that silver stuff. I dug a hole over there. I dug over there. I haven't tried this side of the bank. I see there's more cobbles over there. That was going to be my next quick little spot to give a try, and then I'm time to go home. I was panning, and I picked up my pan, and it was dripping all over, and I filled both boots up right here at the tippy top. So I wasn't really cold before, but it's not exactly warm out in the end of November. But now it's getting to me. My feet are a little wet, my legs are wet, and I'm looking forward to a nice warm truck and riding home. Maybe go home and feed my concentrates to a Miller table in my nice warm garage. Not that I expect to get more than 20 pieces of gold out of this effort today. It's 20 more than I had when I started the day, but I know some guys that get 20 pieces and a handful of dirt when they're at the beach. My beach sucks compared to your beach. It's the only difference. You're putting the work in. Someday I'll get a chance to go where there's actually gold. Okay, I'm going to do a few more scoops on camera here. Talk to you guys a little bit more. I didn't stir that up first, so that one went pretty clumpy. You can see it clumped straight up in there. I'm going to need both hands again pretty soon because my bucket's about to float away. Again, I filled my classifier bucket up with rocks to be the other half of my dam here. And man, I'll get right in there so you can see this dream mat. If you look, you can see the little rocks just spinning around in a circle. That boom thing looks like a chip of paint there going around and around. These mats are amazing. The gold drops to the bottom and gets spun around and buried immediately. It's neat when you're actually somewhere where there is gold because you can see it happen. Here, you just see old mud get replaced with new mud. But, I don't know, it's still pretty neat. I've been watching some more videos on the Dream Mat. And they talk a lot about not really needing to classify for these things. So before I would do my half-inch classifier, because that thing's got half-inch holes in it, and then I would feed it to my bucket classifier to take it down to that 3/16 or 1/8 inch, whatever those are. And I don't know, it just seems like a wasted step. There's a few rocks in there you can see that are probably doing more harm than good, but I don't know. For what I got going on here, I'm happy with it. That mat was a gift from an angel. A gift from an incredibly generous man that has helped me a lot to take me from just some nerd watching YouTube all day to a nerd standing in a creek pretending to make YouTube videos to find gold when, you know, I'm just finding bottle caps and pretty rocks and stuff. But eventually I'll be where there's gold and I'll find gold. Here in my county, I'm just happy I'm in a creek with cobbles. Usually everywhere else I go, it's like digging in a sandbox. So there's got to be some gold here. I mean, everywhere I ever dig, I find a little bit, but just got to find out where it's concentrated. I'm not giving up. I'm never going to give up. And the best part is, I don't see an orange hat anywhere, so I'm not disturbing any hunters. I only heard one gunshot. That was over on the other side of the river. So yeah, what a beautiful day. I got this whole ass creek to myself. No kayakers, no fishermen, no nothing. What a beautiful spot to be. Okay, I'm gonna hit pause again. We'll let another 5 minutes go by while I feed the rest of this bucket to the sluice. And then I might dig over on that side of the bank. There's a couple spots there that look good, like that spot right there with the red rock coming out where it looks like something was in there digging. I'm a little curious about that. So I might check on that one time. And then I'll be working my way back up that 900-foot cliff to my nice warm pickup truck. See you soon. So I pan that down, those concentrates, and there is One or two baby itty bitty little specks in there. If you're lucky, you'll see them go by. A bunch more of that silver stuff, which at this point, just to keep morale up, I'm gonna say maybe that silver stuff is platinum. That way, at least I can still act like there's some hope. Or maybe because I was really quickly panning, maybe I lost whatever gold I had into that red bucket, which I will be taking home. That's my concentrates for the day. So, as I said before, I'm going to run over there and hit that red spot right there. Right there. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. Right there. And maybe the little area around it. So that would be technically the outside bend. So maybe I've been just working the wrong side of the creek the whole day. Maybe this was just the side of the creek with the platinum. And I don't know what else to say other than that. I'm going to go over there, dig a little bit, maybe do one more run across the sluice, and then I'm literally going to kick rocks and climb a mountain and go home. Well, I tell you what, I think I've been on the wrong side of the creek all day. That what looks like, where's my finger? Where's my finger? There it is. What looks like red dirt there, it's actually a little spring coming out of the hill. And it's kind of a rust-colored water that it's washing away. But if you look at my rock pile there, that is full of, I don't want to do this. I'm going to walk over there. That is full of red rocks, blue clay. I found bright white quartz. It's just totally different than anything I've been digging on the other side. So I didn't pan any of it because my pan was way over on the other side of the creek. I just liked what I saw and I filled the bucket up. I'm gonna go sluice. But yeah, all of this blue stuff, this is actually just clay. Clay. Some of it's really gooey, some of it's not. Big quartz rocks. There's another, look at that clean, beautiful piece of quartz. There's some granite in here, some sandstone, some red clay, some blue clay. By golly, it's the best looking pay dirt I've dug in yet today. All out of that hole right there, and there is that red iron filled water coming out. So fingers crossed, I'm gonna run it through the sluice, and then a quick pan to see what I'm doing, dump it in with the rest of my cons. Hopefully that saves the day. If not, whatever, I'll do it again tomorrow. I don't care, it's fun, I like it. See you in a minute. See, what had happened was, after I got done running all that through the sluice, I panned it down quick, and I actually found some specks of gold in the pan. And I know I washed a lot of the gold over when I was doing it because I was pretty cold at that point and I was in a big hurry. And then these are my concentrates. When I went to go make a video, because I actually had gold in the pan that you could see, my battery was dead. So I packed up my gear. I hiked up a mountain, and I came home here, and I dug the miller table out, carried a couple buckets of warm water in from the house, and what else? Made a pot of coffee, got my gold spoon. I found these at a store. I got a stack of these. If anybody wants a gold spoon for your miller table or your cleanup sluice, send me a message. Let me know in the comments. Send me your address. I'll mail you one. I got a handful of these things for, I think, $1. But it says it's stainless steel, but that's gold-plated stainless. Pure gold for the cleanup sluice. Okay, so first things first. We're gonna get the finished Jet Dry Flower Gold Wizard Edition spray. And we're going to dump that directly into our concentrates. Whoops. Try this again. And I like to put it just like that so I can actually see it happening and see what I got. Alright, I set this up so I could sit in my recliner and do this, and my recliner is too far away, so somewhere around here I've got a handy dandy chair. I'll just scooch up. I'll make it happening. Alright. Looky there. I just saw a piece of it go by. So that last spot, man, that was neat to watch that go through the sluice. Boy, it was just totally different pay dirt than what was on the other side of the creek. That blue clay, some of that blue clay was trying to become rock again, or I don't know, sandstone, or what do you call clay when it turns hard? I mean, it wasn't baked, so it didn't turn into scoria, but it was like a sandstone, kind of. So for those of you that haven't seen my Miller table before, this is just a steady flow of water. I've got my smooth water head there, unless that smooth water term has been patented by that other guy. It sprays the water straight down into, there is a, it drops down like this, and then the water has to rise up and then shoot down. The point of it is to be nice and smooth like that. And then this little section in the middle here, I've got chalkboard paint on, and I intentionally left some really thick brush strokes in there when I did it, just trying to make a couple more riffles to help catch stuff. You can see right now the way it's running, those rocks really should get the heck out of there on their own. So I did make it have adjustable feet. And I was a little crooked when it started. I don't know if it's the tote that it's sitting on that made it crooked, but you can kind of gauge that by your water flow down here. But as you see, I just crank it up a little. If I need to, I'll crank the other end down a little. But you watch it, and there it is. See, the rocks just kind of take off on their own. If not, you can always help them down. I do keep a handy dandy paintbrush here that allows me to push the rocks around, but it also allows me to bring this back up. And if you have material with gold in it, usually you would see some by now. And then that super fine gold, it's usually when I do this and brush this up that I can get it all into a pile, and then you can see it. I think maybe, boy, this is gonna focus. I gotta see where I'm even aiming at here. Okay, that spot there, over to that spot there, over to that spot there, right there to that dot, dead center, middle of the screen. It is not focusing on it. I think that dot is possibly a little fleck of gold, and there's a couple right around it. Tiny. What I'm going to do here, because this video has already got to be about 6 miles long, I am going to pause and, oops, put my finger in front of the lens, and I'm going to run most of this dirt, and I'll probably take a minute here and there when I get piles of gold, and I'll sweep them up before I snuffer them. I will take a peek and let you guys see what I got going on. This tote that it's sitting on, I cut the little hole in the end of it there. The pump feeds out through it. I actually have a hole, that hole right there is where these stick up through. But this whole thing, battery, jet dry, gold spoon, pump, paintbrush, the whole thing packs away nicely into that tote. And I have taken it in the house and ran it on the kitchen table. Although the finish on the table didn't like, it wasn't even when it was running, it was when I was cleaning up afterwards. The clay and the water and the finish kind of all mixed together, and it looks better now, but there was a little while there where I thought I was going to have to refinish my kitchen table, so I'll keep it in the garage for now. But it'll be real handy like this summer next summer when we're camping, to be able to run this after a long day just right in the campsite with that little, I think it's 41 quart, 39 liters. Doesn't take a lot. I was 2 almost full 5-gallon buckets to fill it up. So, okay, back on the pause you're going, and when I get some material ran, I will, if I find any gold, or even if I don't find any gold, I'll let you in on it. I am gonna, before I get too carried away here, I'm gonna dump my snuffer bottle out, which I have done to this in the past, and it didn't exactly work out real well for me. But there isn't a whole lot in it right now. So I want to get it dumped out and empty, because I did snuffer up a lot of not gold when I was trying to get them silver pieces and everything I thought might be gold when I was down by the creek. So I'm going to go ahead and dump that on here. Again, I'm not really too worried. If I see something go by, it ends up in the tote, I can get it back later. But yeah, I'm going to pause for the cause, and we'll be back in a little bit. Well, there it is, folks. That's all of it. I never even snuffered any of it up. I just kept sweeping it into a pile. I count 21, 22, 23, 24 pieces in there. I don't know. Some of them are itty bitty. 21 seems like a good number. Seems like I heard that somewhere today. So let's just call her 21 pieces of gold for all day. Not all day. It was like 17 minutes. That's all it was. I don't know. The video, I think, is a little longer than that. Didn't take too long. It was a great day in the creek. I had a good time. Maybe most of that came from that last spot. Definitely going to be checking it out more. At least it's a spot where I can go and run my sluice. Other spots I found gold, there isn't enough water to run a sluice, so I'm looking forward to going back and playing there some more later. But thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Don't be afraid to share this with your friends. Leave a comment, all that happy stuff. And like I said, if anybody needs a golden spoon, hit me up. I got a pretty good pile of them. Send me your address. I'll mail you one. Thank you much. So glad you could see me. Goodbye.